Hey guys, and welcome along to another video. Today's video is the next instalment of our Quest for SS series, where you follow me on my journey to becoming an SS driver. Today's race is a GT Nations Cup race in GR2 around my favourite circuit, Interlagos. To all you regular viewers of the channel, welcome back. If this is your first video, we do all sorts of GT sport related content on this channel, so if that's a bit of you, please consider subscribing. If any of you want to check real time how I'm getting on my Quest for SS, I'll put the Kudos Prime link in the description below, so you can check that out at any time you want and see how I'm getting on. So let's get this race underway. We've qualified in 13th today. I only had time for a couple of laps before the lobby opened, and it was the only one I could do that evening, so I had to jump in. And to be honest, these guys were quite quick, but I'm still quite confident if we stay out of trouble, which is easier said than done, we'll be able to rise up the pack a little bit. So let's see how we get on. So the slowest collision in GT Sport history happens here. I tried to go ultra conservative, but it wasn't conservative enough, and we get kind of bumped across the grass there, and I get a 4-second penalty for our troubles, but I'll worry about that later. Let's see if we can overtake some people, starting with this Spaniard here. We've made the move stick under braking, but I just catch the car as I go down the gully and lose loads of speed coming up the hill, so I'm going to have to protect from the Spaniard on the left. Almost get caught in a Spaniard sandwich there, but we just managed to avoid that and we're up to 11th. So using the radar there, I can see the Spaniards come back up the inside. It's become a bit of a bus stop here. I go through the British guy there, blind faith that he was going to ghost out there, but thankfully he did, and we're into 9th now. I find myself on the outside, so the fellow Brit is going to go up the inside, but I almost lose it and we make a little bit of contact. But hopefully we're going to hold on to 9th here. Coming down into the final corner, he's going to chuck it back up the inside, and we just catch a bit of traction control, so we're not going to have the momentum here, so I go a little bit wide. I try to tuck back in the slipstream, but then we've got an Italian up the inside here, and he's getting the slipstream from the British guy in front. Coming down to the braking zone, and I'm just going to relinquish, see if we can get him up the inside, which then becomes the inside of the next corner. There's a lot of contact there, but we're up into 8th for now. During the contact, all 4 of my wheels left the circuit, so I get another second there added on, so we've got 4 and a bit, almost 5 to get rid of now. So the Spaniard pulls out of the move there, but in doing so, it's hit up the backside by the Italian and then graciously gives me the place back anyway. So thank you very much for that. We've passed a German who ended up in a spin with, I presume, this Spanish guy who slowed down, who I assume also is serving a penalty for that. So we are now up into 6th. Quite an eventful couple of laps so far. It's time, I hope, for the race to settle down. What we'll do is we'll get into a rhythm and start getting after 5th place. So 3.9 seconds behind, 2.5, so we're catching 1.7, we should be with him soon. We get to within 1 second, but then the fellow Brit Diesel, who was running ahead of us, has come a cropper somewhere, and we've gone up into 5th. We've only just overtaken him though. So I envision as he was faster than us, he's going to start putting some pressure on us. A bit further on down the lap, the guy in 4th gets an absolute tank slapper on like we did earlier in the race, which is going to compromise his speed while we're still looking back at the Brit behind. And we're going to be closing up real fast. Closing up during the technical section at Interlagos is probably the worst place you can catch someone, as you're going to have to wait till the start finish straight to actually do anything about him if you get a good run out of the final corner. I fear we're going to get backed into the guy in 6th. Coming down into the final corner now, we're all line astern. I'm not going to get a great run out onto the start finish straight, which is going to give the Brit in 6th an absolute run on me. We're also, I forgot to mention, in power to lean ratio 3 for the fuel mix, as I want to just get us over halfway. So we're down into 6th there. I'm not going to fight it too much because, as I say, well, to be honest, I won't have to. There's a Brits just run wide there, but we are in power map 3, just to get us over that halfway line, to make sure that we don't get caught out later in the race and we have plenty of fuel. The guy in 4th there runs wide, and we give him the lightest of taps, and we get, of course, a 10-second penalty, 14.8 seconds, which of course, as it's over the magic 5-second number, is going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. So I've got to shake it now. Absolute disaster. All that fuel saving and being careful was for absolutely nada. But looking on the bright side, this quest for SS is a marathon, not a sprint. So let's try and bring home a top 10 position and get those all-important driver points to get us closer to our goal. So the fuel saving was worth it. We got to the end of lap 8, but we're going to top up and get a new set of boots, which should get us all the way to the end without a further pit stop, if my calculations, that is, are correct. After that pit stop, it looks like we're going to come out of some relatively clean air, out to 7th place. After a semi-decent outlap, we managed to take half a second out of Firefly, the Brit in front. Hopefully we can get after him and make a push for 6th. As we come across the line to start the 11th lap, we're 1.2 seconds behind him now. We are closing right up. I thought I outbraked myself there. Probably did a little bit, but now we are even closer. But then I presume he's serving a penalty, or may have got something wrong. I'm not sure. Hopefully, no, he's definitely serving a penalty there as he gets out the throttle. So we've been gifted now 6th place. I think we now have the pace on the guy in 7th, and we set our fastest lap of the race for us, 0.2 of a second behind the fastest one of the entire race there, set by the German. So decent pace from us there. It looks like we should be able to, if we can keep this up, solidify a decent 6th place finish. And we're also in position to pick off maybe 5th if he has any problems. You join us a couple of laps ahead now, 14th place. The gap in front and behind has kind of stayed stagnant really, about 5 seconds each. Just bring this home safely, we should be fine. But of course, in an identical move to the issue I had in the GR1 category the other day, I absolutely binned it in exactly the same place. And now I'm in amongst it. I've lost 6th, I've lost 7th. And look, I've got another penalty. 14 seconds. As if binning it completely wasn't bad enough, we've got to shake this off, and I have to do it on the straight, otherwise it's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. From 6th to 11th. What an absolute nightmare. So coming out the final corner for the final time, we come home in 11th place. Wow, what an eventful race. I was not expecting to make that exact same mistake and get that many penalties. But getting to SS isn't as easy as it used to be, and it wasn't easy in the first place, so it is going to be difficult. So guys, that's the end of the video. I really hope you enjoyed it. Please give it a thumbs up if you did, and please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And as always, until the next time, cheers.